Joining me now is Avik Roy, opinion editor at Forbes. Avik, good to see you again. Let's talk a little bit about these accusations. Between denying these accusations and offering up conspiracy theories, how effective might Trump's approaches be to denying or refuting these accusations?
Yeah, I mean, I think that both of those strategies are pretty ineffective. I think the pattern of behavior is pretty strong, and the idea that it's a conspiracy is weak. I think his strongest argument is one that one of your earlier guests mentioned, which is that when Bill Clinton was facing similar allegations in the 1990s, many of the women who made those allegations also alleged that Hillary Clinton was involved in threatening and silencing them. That's perhaps his strongest argument, that, well, it's a terrible thing that I've done, but both sides do it. I think the defense that he didn't do it is not going to fly.
We saw First Lady Michelle Obama and the president address these allegations really in powerful speeches, particularly Michelle Obama's, which was very personal. There's nobody on the Trump side on this level to do his bidding for him. Will the Obamas' words, you think, have an impact on undecided voters, particularly those kind of Republicans that are still on the fence?
Well, we've already seen an impact of the allegations in the polls, particularly in these important swing states. Will the president and the first lady's words add to that? Perhaps, but you know, the real problem isn't what the president says or what Michelle Obama says. The real problem is what Donald Trump is alleged to have done and what he himself has admitted to have done.
In your assessment of the Republican Party, you told The Atlantic, quote, Trump showed me that white identity politics was the dominant force driving the Republican grassroots. Today's GOP is, in your view, a vehicle for the racial resentment, nationalism, and nostalgia of older white voters? The writer says that... Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. So, well, I mean, my concern has been that the biggest problem isn't so much racism. There are certainly racists who are out there who are causing a lot of trouble and who Mr. Trump is appealing to. The bigger problem is that because the Republican Party is overwhelmingly white, and not just overwhelmingly white, but particularly voters who are in demographically homogenous communities, they don't always see the diverse side of America, and they're not part of the parts of America that are diverse. They're geographically isolated from the diverse parts of America. And so in a sense, we have these two Americas. There's the diverse coastal urban America and suburban America, and the more rural America that's more homogenous. And culturally, that's led to a real divide and a feeling among, again, these older whites who grew up in a more homogenous America that somehow the America of today is not the America they grew up in the 40s and 50s and 60s. And that's a huge problem, not just politically for the GOP, but morally, because the GOP really has to be committed to reaching out for and advocating the interests and being committed to making life better for all Americans, not just those rural white voters.
Avik, very quickly, we got one final debate. What can we expect to take place?
Well, let's just hope it's not a dumpster fire like the first two debates, and that we focus as much as possible on policy. Obviously, Chris Wallace is going to be moderating, but Chris Wallace's style is to ask a lot of those media gotcha type questions.
Right.
So I suspect we're going to get a lot more of that.
Do you think that's going to favor Trump more than Clinton?
I'm going to upload this.
Honestly, I think the debate is going to have that same sort of, well, you know, there's this allegation about the women here and the allegation of the emails there, as opposed to a debate about policy, which is what I think I would prefer and a lot of Americans would prefer.
Certainly, I couldn't agree with you more on that one. Avik Roy, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eamon.